What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be trying out one of the most interesting skill testing psychic decks in the current format. A Gardevoir EX control toolbox deck that has Munkidori, Jellicent, and a bunch of one-off Pokemon that allows you to control almost any type of style matchup. This is not a deck that swings for big numbers every turn. Instead, it focuses on disruption, board control, and smart price trading. And if you enjoy thinking multiple turns ahead, this deck is the right one for you. So let's go ahead and just jump into it. At its core, this deck revolves around Gardevoir EX as an energy engine. Gardevoir lets us accelerate psychic energy from the discard pile to our Pokemon, which means once we're set up, we can attack every turn and pivot between different attackers as needed. Instead of relying on one main attacker, this deck runs on a toolbox approach. Lots of single copy Pokemon that each answer a specific situation. You're winning games by outplaying your opponent, disrupting their hand, and forcing them into awkward price trades. Let's start with the backbone of the deck. We're running a Gardevoir EX line with 2 Rolts, 1 Kirlia, and 2 Gardevoir EX. Gardevoir EX is what makes this deck work. Being able to attach psychic energies from the discard pile to your Pokemon means you're never really out of resources. Energies with Ultra Ball, Earthen Vessel, and Lily's Determination, and then Gardevoir just brings it all back.
I'm back,
Kirlia helps smooth things out in the mid game, and once Gardevoir EX hits the board, you can start chaining attackers every single turn. Next up, let's talk about the control pieces, starting with Munkidori. We play 3 copies of Munkidori, and that's because this card is incredibly annoying for opponents. It punishes decks that overextended, messes with their game plan, and applies constant pressure without needing a ton of energy. Then we have a 2-to-1 line of Frillish and Jellicent EX. Jellicent EX is one of your biggest control attackers. It's great against decks that rely heavily on setup turns and abilities, especially when combined with Iono. You can put your opponent into a top deck mode and lock them out of the game. We also include Screamtail, which works beautifully with Gardevoir EX. By moving energy around, Screamtail can spread damage and set up multi-price turns later in the game. This is where the deck really shines. Let's talk tech Pokemon. We have Latias EX, which is absolutely crucial for bench protection. It stops sniping strategies from taking easy prices on your Rolts or Kirlia, which can otherwise lose you the game on the spot. Mew EX gives us draw power and flexibility. It's a great pivot Pokemon and helps dig for rare candy or disruption cards when you need them. Lily's Clefairy EX pairs perfectly with Lily's Determination. It keeps the cards flowing and gives you another solid attacker option. Then there's Fezandipiti EX. It's your comeback Pokemon. When you're behind on prizes, it can swing momentum back into your favor and force your opponent into uncomfortable decisions. Finally, we got Mega Diancie EX, which acts as a utility attacker and matchup tech. It's one of those cards that doesn't look flashy but wins games when used at the right moment. Now let's talk trainers, because this deck's trainer lineup is incredibly tight. We run 4 Lily's Determination and 4 Iono. Lily's Determination is your main draw engine. It's your dig deep while discarding energy for Gardevoir. Iono is your disruption tool, especially deadly in the mid to late game. We also play Professor Turtle's Scenario, which is amazing for picking up damaged Pokemon or resetting your board, and a single Arven to search out rare candy or technical machine Devolution. For items, we got Ultra Ball, Nest Ball, and Rare Candy for fast setup. Earthen Vessel for energy discard and fixing, and Night Stretcher, plus Super Rod for recovery. One of the spiciest cards in the deck is the technical machine Devolution, which absolutely destroys rare candy decks and can steal games out of nowhere. We also run Counter Catcher for Gust when behind, Bravery Charm for extra HP and a mix of stadiums, Artisan for setup, Mystery Garden for psychic utility, and Team Rocket's Watchtower to shut down certain strategies. The energy count is pretty lean, 7 psychic energy and 3 darkness energy. Psychic energy fuels most of the deck, while darkness energy enables Munkidori. Because Gardevoir EX recycles energy from the discard, we don't need to run a heavy energy count. So how does this deck actually win? You're aiming to control the pace of the game, disrupt your opponent's hand with Iono, and force them into bad price trades. You're not rushing. You're letting Gardevoir EX out-resource your opponent while your toolbox Pokemon answer whatever they put in front of you. This deck rewards patience, sequencing, and matchup knowledge. And if you enjoy control or toolbox strategies, this is one of the most satisfying decks you can play right now. Alright guys, we already went ahead and talked a little bit about the deck overview, so now let's go ahead and look at some gameplay. So I'm going first. I placed down Mega Diancie EX as active, and I also placed down Latias on my bench. As you can see, my opponent placed Moltres down as his active with the Flare Float ability, which allows him to not have a retreat as long as he has a fire energy attached. You also see Pidgey and Charmander along with Heatmore. I play a Nest Ball and I get Frillish and I add it to my bench. I play Ultra Ball and I discard my 2 rare candies. And I go ahead and I grab Jellicent EX. He attaches the fire energy to Moltres. He plays Professor's Research. and he attaches Tech Machine Evolution to Charmander and ends his turn. My turn. I evolve into Jellicent EX. I retreat my Mega Deonce EX to send out Jellicent. All my basic Pokemon have a free retreat because of Latias's EX ability Skyliner. I go ahead and I play Lily's Determination. I play a Nest Ball and I get a Munkidori and I play it on my bench, and then I attach a Dark Energy to it. And I end my turn. Because of Jellicent's ability Ocean Curse, as long as he is the active Pokemon, my opponent won't be able to play any items or tools from his hand. I attach a Psychic Energy to Jellicent, and then I play Lily's Determination. I follow up by playing an Ultra Ball, and I get rid of Fezandipiti and Super Rod. And I grab a Roltz. I place it on my bench along with Mew EX. I play down the Stadium Mystery Garden. I also play an Earthen Vessel, and I get rid of a Rare Candy, and I grab 2 Psychic Energies. I use my Mystery Garden to get some extra cards. It reads, once during each player's turn, that player may discard an energy card from their hand in order to draw cards until they have as many cards in their hand as they have Psychic Pokemon in play. And I end my turn. He attaches a Fire Energy to Moltres and attacks with Blazing Flight. He discards 2 Fire Energies and does 120 damage to one of my bench Pokemon, and he ends up knocking out Roltz. I attach a Psychic Energy to Jellicent EX. And then I play Lily's Determination to get a new hand. I play Night Stretcher to get my Rolls back, and I place it on the bench. Then I use Secret Box. I need to get rid of 3 cards to grab an item card, a Pokemon Tool card, and a supporter card, and a Stadium card. I get rid of Professor Turo, Screamtail, and a Dark Energy. I grab a Counter Catcher, a Technical Machine Devolution, Arven, and a Team Rocket's Watchtower. I go ahead and I play that Counter Catcher. I bring out his Pidgeotto and I hit it with that Power Press, knocking it out, and I get my first prize card. My opponent sends out Heatmore. My opponent evolves his Charmeleon into Charizard EX. And we know he was going to do it. He hit us with that Infernal Rain, adding 2 Fire Energies to Charizard EX, 1 to Heatmore, and then he also adds a Fire Energy to Moltres. And then he places Charmander on the bench, and he attacks us for 20 damage. So it's my turn now, and I start off with an Arven, and I grab an Ultra Ball. I play my Ultra Ball, and I get rid of 2 Psychic Energies. I was going to grab Lily's Clefairy, but then I realized I had Gardevoir EX in my hand, so I grabbed that Curlia to evolve Roltz. I use Munkidori's ability, Adrenabrain. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has any Dark Energies attached to it, you may move up to 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So I move 20 from Jellicent to Charizard EX, then I end my turn by attacking with that Power Press. I think the ability Oceanic Curse is getting the best of my opponent, since it's not allowing him to play item cards or tool cards. My opponent does nothing, just attacks for 20 damage again with Heatmore. I evolve my Curlia into Gardevoir EX. I play Earthen Vessel, I get rid of Team Rocket's Watchtower, and I grab 2 Psychic Energies. I attach a Psychic Energy to Jellicent. Once again, I use my Stadium card Mystery Garden. Then I use Gardevoir EX's Psychic Embrace ability. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your Psychic Pokemon. If you attach the energy to a Pokemon in this way, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. I add 1 Psychic Energy on Jellicent EX, Mega Deonce EX, and Gardevoir EX, taking 20 damage per energy. Then once again, I use Munkidori's Adrenabrain to move damage from Jellicent EX to Charizard EX. And then I ended my turn without attacking since I didn't want Charizard EX to be sent out as the active. My opponent starts off with boss's orders and switches out my Munkidori and makes it active. He attaches a hero's cape to Charizard EX. Then he proceeds to switch out Heatmore with Charizard EX by discarding a Fire Energy. Charizard EX does 420 damage to Munkidori, and he took it like a champ. I send out Mew since he has no retreat cost being a basic. I place Munkidori on the bench and I add a Dark Energy. I use Adrenabrain and remove damage from Gardevoir EX and place them on Charizard EX. I retreat my Mew for Jellicent EX and I hit him for 160 with that Power Press. My opponent starts off playing Arven. So I'm kind of just letting him cook right now, just being patient. Then he proceeds to attack Jellicent with 420 damage. Jellicent took it like a boss to the chin, but he couldn't handle it and he got knocked out. I sent out Mega Deoncé EX to the field as my next active. So I start by placing Frillish on my bench. I attach Tech Machine Devo to Mega Deoncé EX. I use Munkidori's Adrenabrain once again to remove damage from Mega Deoncé, and I add them to Charmander on the bench. I use Iono to get a better hand. I play Night Stretcher to get back my Jellicent EX. Then I use a Technical Machine Devolution attack to Charizard EX to turn it back into Charmeleon with over 240 damage, and it gets knocked out and I take my prize card. My opponent sends out Moltres to be his next active. He plays BB Puffin and gets Charmander and Pidgey on the bench. He attaches the Tech Machine Evo to Charmander. Then he plays another BB Puffin, but nothing happens, and he ends his turn. I evolve my Frillish to Jellicent EX. I retreat my Mega Deoncé EX for Jellicent, so my opponent can't use tools or items his next turn. I use Gardevoir's ability, Psychic Embrace. I add 4 energies to Jellicent EX, followed by the Adrenabrain ability to move damage from Jellicent EX to Heatmore on the bench, knocking it out. I play Iono to add more cards back into my deck since I only have 3 turns left before I deck myself out. I use Power Press, knocking out Moltres, and I take my prize card. My opponent leads off with Charmander. Then he goes ahead and plays an Arven. He attaches the Psychic Energy to Pidgey. He's really trying to figure something out, but he can't, so he ends his turn. Once again, I hit that Adrenabrain ability, moving damage from Jellicent EX to Pidgey on the bench. I attach a Bravery Charm to Munkidori, and I hit that Charmander with that Power Press. My opponent sends out Pidgey. He uses the Call for Family and places Chi-Yu on the bench. Dang, just like old times, he isn't doing much for him, just like I never really used him in the Dragapult and Charizard EX video. Not even once, only a sacrifice for Ultra Balls. During my turn, I finish off Pidgey with a Power Press, and that's game. Alright guys, so the reason I'm only showing you one of the gameplays today is because of the fact that this deck basically takes a while to actually win a match. I'm not saying you're not going to win, it's just going to take you a minute. So every match was easily above the 10-minute mark. So even if I speed it up like I did on this video, it would be sitting here for a minute, okay? But overall, I believe this deck runs really well. If you enjoy using Psychic type decks, this is the deck for you, especially right now in the current meta. If I wanted to add anything, I'd probably add a Luxurious Cape, so that way I can increase Screamtail's HP. I'm blanking out on that one. But yeah, so if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and go ahead and give me some feedback. Give me some comments. Let me know what decks you want to have me review next. And yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to get better at it. I'm trying to add a little bit of a comedy into it. So if you guys like the comedy aspect of all this, let me know. I'm like playing with my mic and shit. But yeah, if you guys like the comedy aspect of the videos, let me know. More than happy to do them. I enjoy the comedy aspect of it too. So yeah, now I'm just ranting. Like I said, go ahead, leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think. What works, what's not working, what you're liking. This will be the third video that I've made. I'm trying to upload one of these every week. So I'll leave you with that one. See you in the next one. Bye.